Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We've got Trigger going up against the Dutchman in HiGhDrA. Yes, we're showing a couple more HiGhDrA games because he's a Dutchman. We biased like that. It's a PvP on Hecate? Hecate? I don't know. Group D, Homestory Cup 24. And this is a group with Rainer and Hero Marine in it. So we're trying to watch the people that, might not get to play the playoffs, but definitely do get to play the group stage. And I'm interested to see if there's any regional differences that we are going to spot. Trigger, of course, being NA, whereas HiGhDrA being EU. So is there a big difference in EU Protosses versus NA Protosses? I don't know. I think they both proxy the shit out of each other. Now we see identical builds so far. So the first deviation is going to be, well, the fact that there's proxy pylon, but also the gateway units. And Trigger actually scouting around here. Getting quite a bit of vision, whereas HiGhDrA doesn't know anything about his opponent. And Trigger, of course, does find out that there is no second pylon in HiGhDRA's base. Double Stalker coming out with Gateway Research. Same for Trigger here. So proxy pylon not being put to use right away. Not like an immediate Stargate of sorts. But he might still put something else there. Actually just leaving it be. Just a proxy pylon to scare Trigger. Because now Trigger has to play around this game as if there is a proxy, perhaps. We'll see. Double Stalker coming out, and we see Twilight Console being built here for Trigger, so probably going for Blink Stalkers to either defend a push, or to put on a little pressure himself. Does find the probe of HiGhDrA that tried to scout the natural, but the probe got killed in doing so. So HiGhDRA is still completely in the dark here, has only seen two Stalkers. Throws down a Nexus. Oh my god, you see? Oh, he's not gonna find it. He's looking for this proxy. Do you see Trigger scouting around the edges of the map with his probe, with his Stalkers? We see HiGhDRA two more Stalkers, so he's up to 4 Stalkers on both sides. Now we see Twilight Console coming out for HiGhDRA a little later, but he does have a natural. So, 4 Stalkers against 2. That does favor HiGhDRA a lot here. Oh, nice shots. Gets a full kill on the first Stalker. We do see a proxy pylon from Trigger. An offensive one. And we see 3-gate Blink coming out of Trigger here. So he might actually build a 4th one and just go on the offensive. HiGhDRA did get a cheeky kill here. Immediately saw that there was no natural and he's going back. So is he going to scout around? No, he's just heading straight back. I would have liked him to send Stalkers out to his outer bases, knowing that there's no natural, so there might just be a proxy. Probe comes in, and a Robo is being built, and a Dark Shrine is being built here from HiGhDRA. Cancels the natural here, sends in an Adept to check, so he's like, oh, there's a big, big attack coming. Not even trying to defend his natural base. He could have built a couple batteries there and tried to defend, but he doesn't know what's behind this. This could just be a 4-gate without Blink, I suppose. Now we do see War Prism coming in. No Immortal. War Prism does, of course, give you pseudo Blink. So you can actually micro back against these Stalkers, but this is a lot of Stalkers. 11 versus 7 here. Nice force field. So half the Stalkers are not able to attack, but now, since they do get vision from these top Stalkers, almost all of the Stalkers from Trigger are allowed to fire. We see a lot of Chrono Boost here. Why is he not Chrono Boosting his gateways? You might want to Chrono Boost them afterwards, after building the DTs. Just wants to have the warping capability ready. That makes sense. Ooh, and Trigger feeling a little tingle here, making a Robo. And here come the Stalkers. 14 Stalkers against 7. We do have the War Prism. Picking up the Stalkers. HiGhDrA can hold this. Zealot not doing his job. And more Stalkers coming in from Trigger. We do see 2 DTs walking across into the base of Trigger, or attempting to get there. Probes are pulled off the line, and the fight is commencing here. The probes tanking really well. The DTs are in the main base of Trigger, and there's also a DT in the main base of HiGhDrA, trying to keep HiGhDrA alive here. Look at the DTs tearing apart the main base of Trigger, killing some probes there, but not targeting the pylon and not depowering the robo. So Trigger now actually destroying all of the army that HiGhDrA has. And now the DTs are killing all of the probes, but not making sure that there's no detection. And this one DT is not fast enough at killing all of the opponent's Stalkers here. Only 7 Stalkers left, though, all deep in the red, and we have a couple probes left, 4 probes left. DT's still menacing the main base, but now there is an Observer, and we see 3 Adepts, and we have 1 probe remaining for HiGhDrA, and HiGhDrA GG's out after Trigger just runs him around. This 1 DT that was trying to chase him down just can't catch up to that many Stalkers. And instead of going for this pylon, he went for all the probes. And so the Observer came out, and even though... well, Trigger has 4 probes to HiGhDrA's 2 probes, but that's enough to win the game. And Trigger takes the first game versus HiGhDrA here on Hecate. Defending that DT... well, it wasn't a rush, it was like a... more of a DT response build versus that Blink Stalker aggression from Trigger. And I think it could have worked out. And HiGhDrA did kill a lot of probes, but he didn't end up preventing the fact that an Observer came out and Trigger warped in 3 Adepts that do, I think, bonus damage to DTs. I think DTs are light units. Pretty sure. So he couldn't approach the mineral line anymore, and because Trigger had any semblance of probes, and HiGhDrA did not have a semblance of probes left. He had 2 probes and no army, so couldn't quite get it done, but that was a close one. And now HiGhDrA actually committing to a scout here.
You're out of supply. Make more pylons.
Thank you, Tasteless. So he finds double pylon in Trigger's base. No problemo, sees double gateway units starting up, double Adept going up against the double Stalker. I'm not sure what you prefer as a player, like if you know what the other's gonna do, or you can force somebody else to do something. Is there an ideal response? I don't play enough Protoss to know this. I just know, like, Adepts are really good at killing probes, whereas Stalkers are better at, like, killing the opponent's units. And then, like, leading into a nice timing attack, for example. And Stalker Sentry usually means expand. Now we do see double Stalker and another Stalker's coming out. We do see Stargate here from Trigger. Whereas we see a Twilight Console from HiGhDrA, delayed his second Stalker a little bit to get that. And HiGhDrA knows about the Adepts. His probe is in position. And the Adepts do find that probe out on the map. And do get a cheeky kill on that probe. Now there's a pylon here. Not a shield battery. I think Protoss use shield batteries because they build longer, so it's like they can't wait it out with the Adepts. Oh my god, the Adepts find another probe. Adept does go down. 2 Stalkers here from Trigger, and he does build a base on his natural location. We see a base coming out for HiGhDrA now as well, but Trigger's is already halfway done. Do see an Oracle being chrono boosted out, or it's a Robo being built. And now that I feel like he didn't get the scouting, but he canceled the Robo, maybe expecting a DT rush this game. I don't know. I'm not sure why he made the Robo and then canceled it. He saw a bunch of Stalkers, which probably tells him, maybe it was the 1 sentry, it tells him where all the gas was going. Well, look at that. Blink coming out for HiGhDrA here, and we see some Oracle Micro there. Gets 1 kill, it gets a lot of damage on it though. Good defense by HiGhDrA. Now we do see the natural base being saturated, Twilight Console being added on here. for Trigger. And we see 2 gateways on both sides. Bunch of stalkers for HiGhDrA. A lot of Blonk. But he has to keep a couple HiGhDRAs here to prevent this Oracle from doing any damage. And it comes in to check if there is a Stalker force remaining in that mineral line, or if HiGhDRA is moving across the map. Which is, of course, possible. If he just moves across the map with all of his Stalkers, he can blink onto the ramp of Trigger and completely take him by surprise. Instantly snipe the shield battery. 3rd gateway being added on. Scouting being done with the Phoenix. And here comes the Oracle again. Oh, blink! Oh, he gets the blink. He gets the kill. Very nice. No extra probes were killed, I think? Nope. Only 1 probe there. The other 2 probes were killed by those adepts on the map earlier. Let's look at the unit count here. We see 10 Stalkers and a Sentry versus 8 Stalkers, but Trigger's kind of up in workers. And HiGhDrA moving out now with Blink. Keeping the Sentry at home, so no Guardian Shield. Ooh, he does have Blink though, and more Stalkers. 2 more Stalkers, warping 2 more. They are going across the map, so what is he going to do? There is a shield battery here, could be a nuclear one. So I feel like HiGhDrA can't get anything done here. Blinks away. Ooh, gas was cancelled as well. Damn, Trigger is all about cancelling those buildings. 4th gateway being added on. He gets his Warp Prism just like HiGhDrA did last game. Kind of like a pseudo blink. We do see Immortal coming out from HiGhDrA here, from his own Robo. Seeing as how both players are just making a lot of Stalkers. Immortals are, of course, pretty good, unless you get blonked on. Like, that's just... It's such a weird interaction where these Stalkers don't really want to commit to anything, and then as soon as there's an Immortal, they're like... They just go all in. They just blink in all of them and try to one-shot that Immortal. Because I guess the math works out there. We see Trigger moving out. 17 Stalkers to 13, but we do have an Immortal. HiGhDrA now up a base, or his base is halfway done. Trigger's just beginning. No forges on the ground just yet. We do see this Warp Prism reinforcing the Stalker army even further. And now, oh, the big blink in immediately snipes down Stalker after Stalker. Shield battery has not been committed just yet. We do see the Immortal, but that was quite a few lost Stalkers. 4 in total, just bam, dead. 5 Stalkers were lost for Trigger, though. And now the 3rd base is in peril a little bit. Adept shading into the natural. Those could be starting to do a lot of damage here. They do warp in, and they start targeting these probes. And the probes are pulled. The 3rd base is still in peril. Immortal's just chilling, doesn't want to do anything. Oh my god, the Adepts get into the main base. Final was not created. And now HiGhDrA is kind of in a tight spot here. Has to deal with this harass. And these Stalkers are trying to, but... oh my god. Trigger's forcing HiGhDrA to make so many mistakes. He's just putting so much pressure on. And now the Adepts did get out. 9 probes were lost, but 4 probes were counter-killed. I did not see that. I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe some Adepts went around. But HiGhDrA did get some counter damage in. 41 probes to 49. Now, charge lots coming out for both sides. 4 gateways for HiGhDrA here. Oh, the Warp Prism is snipeable, and it does get sniped. Oh, that feels bad. You don't want your Robo time being, like, clogged up by having to make another Warp Prism like that. That feels kind of bad. Because you only have 1 Robo, and that means you're limited in the amount of workers or units you can make from that. Now, a bunch more gateways coming out for Trigger as well. So they're doing pretty similar stuff here. Trigger just slightly ahead in workers, slightly ahead in army count as well. And we do see 4 sentries coming out for HiGhDrA, kind of showing that he is more defensive here. And he needs a couple more minerals to saturate his 3rd base. Do get another Immortal. And he's up in the Immortal count. 3 Immortals. So if these Immortals don't shoot Zealots all fight long, I think they'll be pretty worth. Like, if these Immortals target other Immortals or Stalkers, that's really good. Nice Stalker placement here. Scouting out where that army of Trigger is going. HiGhDrA. Oh, and he's slightly out of position now. Instant blink onto the shield battery. Now, no shield battery present for HiGhDrA, and his charge slots are stuck behind his own blink stalkers. He's actually in a choke versus Trigger. Oh my god, Trigger took such a nice position there, abusing the fact that HiGhDrA was slightly out of position. But the 3 Immortals, though, doing a lot of damage. Nice pickup micro here by HiGhDrA. Zealots eventually do get on through. And there are a couple Zealots in the third base here. No Adepts in the main base, but now some Zealots are running by into the natural, doing a lot of damage to the probes, if not dealt with. But HiGhDrA can do a lot of damage to the main army. Oh my god, 14, 15. Oh my god, all of the probes are dying in the natural. HiGhDrA needs to win the main fight now, because he's down almost 25 probes. These sentries, though, they look to be doing quite a bit here for the fights. But, damn, Trigger took such a really nice position on HiGhDrA there. And even though HiGhDRA's army was just straight up better because of all the Immortals. Look at this, 4th Immortal coming out. Or 3rd Immortal, I guess he lost one in the fight. Oh, but look at the Stalker count for HiGhDrA. It's super low. Blinks in aggressively, forces a blink and gets a nice force field. But HiGhDrA is going super all in, and he has to. Look at this worker count. He just needs to kill Trigger right now. 3 Archons are morphing in. The time is ticking. The clock is ticking. And these Immortals are shelling away at these Zealots right now. A nice pullback by Trigger. Now he has 3 Archons, and he can put HiGhDrA in this choke again. Nuclear battery. Nice defensive position. Gets a clean volley off on an Immortal there with his Stalkers. So what does HiGhDrA do? He walks up and he sees a 4th base. That feels bad. Oh no, that means that Trigger is feeling real rich. And if we look at the supply, Trigger is up a little bit, but the army supplies are quite even. Oh my god, nice surround with the charge cells on that 1 Immortal. 2nd Immortal gets targeted down by the Immortals of HiGhDrA, and HiGhDRA's Immortals can now reign supreme. They can just shell away at these Stalkers, get picked up by the Warp Prism. Oh my god, blunk in. They do take down the Warp Prism, and now these Immortals are also being targeted down. And Trigger actually wins that fight narrowly. And behind it, there were some Zealots in the base of HiGhDrA, meaning that reinforcements were going to be slimmer and slimmer, less and less. And barely, Trigger hangs on and defeats HiGhDRA's army that seemed to be his equal. And HiGhDrA even getting away from all these nasty shield batteries, fighting here on the, well, the throat position. But Trigger pulls it out, 2-0. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series. Next series, we're going to watch Hero versus Rainer. Hero Marine versus Rainer. That's going to be very fun. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.